Hello everyone, it's Spursbraille96 here and welcome to another Train Sim World 3 live stream. For today's stream I'll be taking a look at the official add-on pack to the Northern Transpennine route, and that is the British Rail Heavy Freight Pack, which basically adds a new locomotive, a shunter, two types of freight rolling stock, tankers and vans, or TEA tanker wagons I should say. It also adds scenarios, services, tutorials, all that kind of jazz. So we're not going to cover every single bit of it because I've streamed on Heavy Freight Pack many times but haven't done it in Train Sim World 3, so I thought we'd get into the services and have some fun with it. The only thing which is a bit odd still is that a Heavy Freight Pack doesn't have a chapter in the Northern Transpennine Journey mode, which is a bit strange, but there we are. So we're going to use the BR Class 08 in Northern Transpennine livery. We're going to do coach collection. I want to do something that's freight related. Van move, pick up some old vans, move them near to the depot so they can start getting loaded for the supply run. Drop off 3 wagons. Red Bank. We got one at Huddersfield, haven't we? Yeah, I think we'll do that one. Something passenger related. We'll change the time of year. We'll put it on like February maybe. Let's have a clear winterish day. It says in the description, await the arrival of the inbound passenger train from Sheffield and then remove the 2 coaches from the rear and store them temporarily. We'll do that one, and then once we've done that duty with the that service with the Class 08, we'll then take a trip on the main line with the BR Class 40 and some TEA tanker wagons. So right, let's await the arrival of the train. Let's firstly get set up in the shunter. Instrument lights on, marker lights on, excuse me. Train brakes to initial application. Need to go backwards actually, don't I? And take a look at the rear. Yeah, so the train is now just coming into Huddersfield. It's just teleported into the route via this diversion off the main line. In fact, there it is. That's the train being hauled by a 47. And the beauty with Heavy Freight Pack is that you can do freight services not only with the BR Class 40 but also the 47 and the 45, and also you can do passenger services with the BR Class 40. How cool is that? It's pretty neat, isn't it? Right, I'll say my hellos to Islanders Playoffs. Good afternoon. Hey Banana Craft, very nice to see you, hope you're well. Oh, appreciate that. Hope my streams are a good watch for you all. And also Peppy Mew fan. Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? But yeah, glad you're alright, mate. Glad to see you. Hope you're well. Welcome. Islanders Playoffs. I just came back from Florida. Oh, vacation in Florida. Very nice. Hope you had a good time. Hope the weather was nice and hopefully you had a lot of fun. Unless it was just a relaxing holiday, then yeah, hope you had a good relaxing vacation. Right, let's get moving. I'll have to wait for the signal to change. We'll go on the loco brake. We'll get close to the signal. Actually, yet again, I always forget to turn the motion blur on because I prefer to have it off, but I know some people like to have it on as well. It also helps the stream. So right, we'll just wait. I don't know what we're waiting for. I think we have to wait for this train to do its disembarking and passenger boarding. And once it's done, it will uncouple I think 3 coaches at the rear, and we got to go and pick them up basically. So what is it now? 9:04. It must be going to Manchester Victoria, I think. No, it can't be. It has to be Leeds, doesn't it? Or maybe Scarborough. What platform are we on? Platform 4. Let's have a look. Yeah, platform 4 only says Leeds. There is one at Scarborough, but that's at 10:26. And it's obviously just gone 9:05 in the morning in the game, so... Yeah, I don't think we won't be waiting that long, surely. I'll be gobsmacked if we are waiting that long. Unless it's broken. It shouldn't be, because I was able to do it a month or 2 ago. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. So we'll just wait a minute. Oh, the points might not be set correctly, that might be why. Come on, come on. Yeah, the points are not set correctly. Well, that side isn't, which isn't great. We have to go there. Yeah, we can't go on the main line because we need the 47 to get out of the way. I think I just heard it detach. I think I heard it in my headset. Yep, off it goes. 47 has decoupled coaches from the rear. Off it goes to Scarborough, Leeds, or wherever the hell it's going. Bye bye. Bye bye train. There it is, as you can see, the 2 rear coaches are still here with a passenger on board. Make that 2. Make that 3. You're going to get left behind, people. You better get out of the coaches. Any more on board? No, just those 3. A few Mickey Mouse people. Want to be an idiot and be left behind. Yeah, it's nice to see the subs have really gone up very quickly at Banana Craft, straight out of the blue, really. At one point I was struggling like between 1.8 K, and now it's just rocketed to over 2K. I think I pulled in at least 40 more people or 50 more people in what, less than a month. It's big increase in growth all of a sudden, but hey, I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. Peppy Moo fan, yeah, okay. Been a few months, must admit, but yeah, still keeping my YouTube channel active. Pretty soon I'll be streaming Train Simulator, TS, Train Simulator, and other content too. Excellent. Very nice. Glad you're well. Making the most of the beloved Southern Peps. Soon, the 313s. Oh, and in the game, you mean, yeah. They're a nice addition to have, aren't they, on East Coast Way? Certainly makes the timetable more realistic. William O'Sullivan, good morning. How are you, brother? I'm very well, thank you, William. Hope you've had a good morning in Australia. Hope all is well there. Hope the weather's nice. Hope all the family and friends are good as well. Right, we've been given clearance to proceed onto the main line and couple up to the coaches. Sub-Zero Scorpion, hey, how are you? Hope you're well. Any word on Dovetail merging Long Island Railroad now to Northeast Corridor? No, no word. If you mean, what was it? If you mean the rolling stock being used as AI, services in the timetable, then that's not happening just yet. Hopefully it happens soon. It would be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, it's a pretty simple thing to do. They've already done it in scenarios, and they just got to implement it in the timetable. So it shouldn't be much of a problem. All it really is just scuttling in and out of New York Penn, isn't it? And that's pretty much it. Then there's all other sorts of bits and bobs to the timetable. They need to add way more NJ Transit services. They need to add some, I wouldn't say add freight services, because that's probably not going to happen, but maybe just some freight rolling stock in the yards around the route, you know, just to make it feel a bit more lively. That would be nice. I think a potential logo add-on would be the Amtrak SW1000R switcher in Sunnyside Yard, even though we've had it before, albeit, what was it, 3-4 years ago? A bit controversial if they, you know, if people already own the SW1000R add-on from the very first train sim world, that you've got to buy it again, and it's the same thing, same rolling stock, probably same physics and same sounds. I wouldn't complain if it came back to the game. I'll be very pleased if it did. And now you said that, I think I might have to organise a stream on Northeast Corridor, New York, and the old train sim world. Have a little play with that switcher in Sunnyside Yard. Well, just once again contact the signaller, and he's given us clearance to proceed past a red signal. Right, there we go. There we are. Excellent. That is good. Right, let's go and put them in the siding. Full power. Let's get them off the main line as quick as we can. We don't want to disrupt the mainline traffic. There's no nonsense from me. It's straight on the case. Don't know, my iPad keeps wanting to switch itself off. Oh, that's why I've got it on low power mode. That's why. Might be best if I switch that bit off. It would be nice, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, to add the New Jersey Transit Arrow Deadhead. That's certainly something Dovetail could do. They have the license of New Jersey Transit. It would be nice. Whether Dovetail will do that, either because they'll come up with some preposterous excuse saying, oh, due to frame rate or performance issues on consoles and PCs, or because they're just lazy, and it's probably the latter. There we are. Right, let's go to Huddersfield siding number 3, and I think that'll be it, won't it? Yes, it will. Let's just check the points. Okay, they're all automated this track, so let's go. There are some manual switches and some are automated. Lovely. Less worrying. Hi William, yeah, it's 5:33 in the morning. Good grief. See the wife off to work, now just having a coffee, chilling out of you. Oh, very nice, William. 5:33 in the morning, blimey. I thought you would want to go back to bed. Hope the coffee's nice. What kind of coffee are you having? It's making me want to have a coffee, but no point because it's nearly 10. You know, it's quite late now in the UK. Nearly there, just coming up to 9 p.m. Ooh, brake. Ooh. We braked alright. There we are, suddenly stopped. There we are. Took me what? Just under 12.5 minutes. Quite simple. Right, let's return to the timetable and do a service with the BR Class 40 doing some freight. Banana Crafter do like that shunter. Same, you didn't have much to do with it. Oh yeah, the was it the Amtrak switcher? Yeah, there's only what 4 services, but I think the beauty of it is that those 4 services are quite long, which I suppose is it's like a double-edged sword. I suppose it's kind of good, but then it's kind of not so good at the same time. The scenarios are quite interesting though. Certainly with that recovery operation in New York Penn. Right. Let's do some oil. Let's type in oil. Should have loads of it. We got one at 3 a.m. in the morning. That's no good, is it? Healy Mills to Manchester, Victoria. Starting at Murfield. Got an awful... that's a travelling post office. Not interested in that. Let's type in oil again. Sometimes the timetable can be a bit muddled when you're picking a locomotive from the train depot. Empty oil. No, don't want that. Do it again. Loaded oil. Healy Mills. Heavy oil, but that's broken. Empty oil. Yeah, a lot of empty oil. 80 mils to Staley Bridge. Murfield. That's too light. That's 2 locomotives, isn't it? Is there any more loaded oil? Okay, well, I think we'll do that one. Healy Mills to Manchester, Victoria. Put it in December. Make it cold. Have some snow, I think. Snow level to maximum. Cloud level, let's say about halfway. And we'll have about that much perception. Yeah, rock and roll. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's go. Have a bit of snow. Have some challenge, shall we? Subscribers Corporate, give your opinion on the Amtrak Acela Avilia being on Train Sim World 3. I'm not sure, really. I don't like the look of it, to be honest. Looks a bit ugly. And I don't like the paint scheme either, to be honest. I just prefer the old Amtrak Acelas. Certainly it's more... Jesus, crikey. That's a bit too dark, isn't it? Maybe I have to change that, I think. But yeah, certainly technologically, it's more, it's more advanced. It's newer. It'll be a different driving experience if it was to come to the game. I think it would be it would be something different. That's for sure. Whether it will come to the game is anyone's guess. I'll have to do that all over again now. Sitting there for 5 minutes, deciding what to do, and. Where's it? 7/16. Let's not do it in December. Let's do it in February again. Snow perception down to there. Snow level at maximum. Cloud level of it. There. Wind strength. Don't need the wind strength up that much. Right, let's try that one. It should be a bit brighter. Yeah, but I quite like to see the Amtrak Stella Revelia being in the game, despite how much I loathe its looks. Oh, Morricone. Oh, very nice, William. Pepe and Mew fan, really hope Creators Clubs gets reinstated again. Yeah, I mean, Creators Club is a little bit dead at the moment, isn't it? It seems Dovetail is not doing much, or much activity, much excitement, you know, doing competitions with it or anything like that. Which is a bit disappointing. They've left Creators Club a little bit on the wayside. I mean, I never used Creators Club, so I'm not that bothered with it, to be honest, but I know some people do like using it. Either scenarios or liveries. Okay, let's get a bit of light on in here. Echoed light on, instrument lights. There's a cab light somewhere. Nope. Cab light, there we go. Okay, instrument lights to maximum. Horn works, that is a good sign. Cab heater, rear, I suppose, side. How are you doing, sir? You nice and toasty? You will be now. Your backside and your bottom will be burned. Not intentionally, just to keep you warm. Vacuum brakes for the goods. No need to turn on the safety systems as they don't exist. Turn on the wipers. That's working. Excellent. Right, let's get going. A bit of wheel slip. Better put on the sander, I think. Drop a load of sand on the rails. That should help. You can hear the sand being applied to the rails, so it's certainly working. Good. Everything seems to be in working order. Just increase the power to maximum. So how many tankers have we got? 1, 2, 3, I think 15 or 20. Anyway, let's go to our one and only stop, which is Manchester Victoria. 26 miles away. Oh, slip has gone away. Excellent. Liam, hey Spurs. Hey Liam, hope you're well. Last day in America before come back home. Hope you've had a good day in America, in the beautiful US of A. Hope all is well. Hope you had a good day in good old Austin, Texas, or wherever you are in America now. Go. Oh, I can turn the cab light off. Don't need it now. There's enough daylight outside. Of course, the Midland Main Line comes out tomorrow. Interesting to see what the overall response will be on its release. Might be good, it might be not so good. We'll have to wait and see. Not long to go, under 24 hours. Sadly, the route is at full price, which I'm still not a fan of, regardless what it is or who it's made by. There we are. 30 quid in the UK or $40 in the US. Rip-off prices, really, but hey ho. I'm going to tuck into my chocolate whilst we're chugging along at 30 miles per hour. Once again, it's a Galaxy soft milk that I'm having today. Got a pack of 4 of them. It's part of an Easter present. Speed limit will decrease to 50 miles per hour, but that doesn't really matter because we're nowhere near 50. The next speed limit after that will be 70, which we're never going to reach. Very nice. Very nice. Now, before I give you some stats over the BR Class 40, they were also known as the Whistlers. They were built by English Electric over a 4-year period from 1958 till 1962, so they're fairly old. A total of 200 were built, and for quite a time they were considered to be, you know, the pride of British Rail's early diesel fleet. They are, of course, English Electric locomotives, and in Train Sim World they come in obviously a weathered beat British Rail corporate blue livery and features both head code disc and marker light variants. 24 services were added as part of the heavy freight pack, which will see you head both empty, loaded or heavy oil trains with TEA tanker wagons, and you also get 2 axle box vans which do 1 service. But the van side of things is mainly focused on the BR Class 08, which adds 11 new services to the route. Pretty much you'll be tasked, you know, with shifting vans around the yards, putting them together to, you know, for locomotives, you know, such as the BR Class 40, the 45 or the 47, to, you know, haul up the challenging Trans-Pennine grades, which is pretty cool. Not too bad, eh? Now, despite the mixed success of the 10 BR Class 40 prototypes, British Rail was so pleased by it they ordered a further 190. Such was the changes, you know, in working practices during, you know, the build period at the time. The reason why they were called Whistlers is because of their distinctive turbo whistle sound, which is interesting. Now the BR Class 08, that's pretty simple, isn't it? It's a V-go-to locomotive for shunting duties in yards or at stations. Over a 10-year period from 1952 to 1962, almost 1,000 were built in various areas in England, such as British Railways Derby, Crewe, Darlington, Doncaster and Harwich Works, making it one of the most numerous of all of BR class classes in British Rail's early days. So yeah, these locomotives certainly do have a bit of history, that's for sure. Well, Liam, I've got half a pack of water left, and I brought 5 packs for me on Friday. It's been too hot though some days to have coffee, so I've had water with air conditioning on, with the window as wide as it will go. I'm on the top floor, so it's okay. Oh good, I'm glad you're keeping cool. Must be unbearable. I mean, just sitting there, doing nothing, or probably just doing the basic things, maybe like, sitting down, having a drink, or eating breakfast or something in those kind of temperatures must be, unbearable. Absolutely unbearable. Just wondering, is the sander still on? Shouldn't be. I'll have to turn on the cab light again. Oh, you don't get the cab light. Vacuum brake good, the battery isolation switch is in normal. That's AWS, not bothered about that. Oh, I heard a Class 08 Gronk. Oh yeah, going the other way. Get on the brakes as we're coming through Huddersfield. Right through the middle of the station, and the camera's glitched through it. Very no good. Not. You've ruined it, game. I was about to see a nice drive past. You've got 22 miles until Manchester, Victoria. Banana Craft for Class 13 diesel is rather interesting. It's 2 Class 09s joined together. I didn't realise it was 2 Class 09s joined together, but yeah, it certainly looks unique. Let's put it that way. Certainly more oddball, which I think would be quite fun to have in Train Sim World. It'd be quite complicated to properly put the thing together and get the physics right, but it'd be nice to have an oddball locomotive in Train Sim World. the tunnel. And now into another. That little junction off to the left was where the Sheffield bound express came from. Or the express from Sheffield, I should say. I think I could turn the cab light off now. It will get progressively brighter as we continue our march to Manchester. But on the craft, well, they cut the cab off one of them, so one's a master and the other one is a servant. Oh, I see. Quite like, it's a bit like the Lichfield Railroad's F7, isn't it, where the B unit is I suppose, well, VA unit, which is, you know, where the cab is all located, is, if you like, I don't know, the mothership, and the B unit is, like the trailing, I don't know, servant, like you said. I'm just trying to think of something that is a bit similar. It's like Star Wars, isn't it, in a way? I suppose the Death Star is the cab, or the Type A of the Lichfield Railroad F7, and the B unit is, I suppose, Darth Vader's ship, the Executor, or the Superstar Destroyer. Something like that, I suppose. It's still, you know, pretty important, but it's not the top of the tree. Not where you're going to be driving, that's for sure. You're not going to drive the B unit, are you? The B unit has no cab, but the A unit does. Oh, that's a bit glitchy. That's a nice view. Oh, very nice with the sun rising in the sky. Of course, you got the new snow effects in this route, courtesy of Train Sim World 3. The snow being blown on the sides there. You can see it over there in the distance. I imagine when you're driving at a really fast speed, like 70-80 miles an hour, it must look pretty good. Liam, whilst being here and after the bikes had finished, I visited an area where they have this demolition derby, which is pretty much just on a pit, and it's shocking, just absolutely crap. It is so slow. It's not very good, is it? Not very good demolition derby. Not sure it's the cars being it's not really a place for the cars to be demolished. It sounds like the place itself needs to be demolished. Rebuilt, started again, I think, to deliver a better experience. The tea was very nice. Nice cup of tea. 20 miles to go until Manchester Victoria. It's not going to be 20 miles per hour slow all the way. There will be a steep downhill section to come. I'd say once we're just before the long tunnel, that's where the gradient starts to change. So we ain't got too long. Remember, we did start at Healy Mills, which is roughly around here. And obviously we're going all the way to Manchester. Got my phone buzzing away in the background, not sure what that's for. Probably something to do with the sport, or text message or something. Let's get my phone sat next to me just in case it's anything important. So it means I've got to swap things around on the fly and all this stuff. I best get the phone that's currently charging at the moment. Stupid phones these days, they never last long enough, do they? Always running out of juice. Oh, sit down again. Make myself comfortable. What is it? Oh yeah, football. Leeds, of course, are playing tonight. They're playing Liverpool. And sadly, Leeds are being destroyed. Liverpool have just scored their 4th goal. It's 4-1. Oh dear, what a shame. Bloody hell. Gradient is still at 1%. It will remain like that for a little bit longer. Banana Class 17 is a nice diesel. It is. Whereas my favourite looking diesel, I'm not too sure. There's quite a few nice looking diesels in the early days of British Rail. Obviously the 37 is an iconic one. The 40 I think looks very nice. Has that presence that I just love about it. Liam, it's not a stadium, it's just a field with fences round it, and if something breaks off the car, it gets stopped immediately. There is no speed, they probably only get up to 20 miles per hour. Is that it? God, that's... Like that is slow, isn't it? Like, that is slow. That's slow. Very slow. Right, I'll say the usual YouTube shenanigans. Of course, if you'd enjoyed the stream, be it live or on playback, then I'd really appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up below. And if you are watching for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel for more Train Sim World content, be it videos and streams alike. The next stream will be this weekend on April the 23rd, which is actually St George's Day, 2023, and we'll still be in the UK and we'll still be back in time, as I'll be taking a trip along. I'll be taking a trip to the northeast of England on the Tees Valley Line. And some freight and passenger fun. Nothing wrong with that. Liam, the diesels I like are a Class 47 and a 55. The 47 I'm not a big fan of. I don't know why. It's just something about it. I'm not saying the 47 is garbage or anything. I don't know. I think I just prefer other diesels, to be honest with you, rather than the 47. But the Class 55, yeah, no doubt, I love that, especially. It's nicknamed the Deltic. I love it in its British Rail green, or you know, the yellow and green British Railways one. I think they used to have it in the British Rail Museum. Yeah, I love that. I'm surprised you haven't had a Deltic in Train Sim World. You'd think with all the diesels we've had, you think the Deltic would be one of them. We've had what, Class 37, two variants of the 47. A Class 40, a 45, many 66s. So you'd think the 55 would be in the game, but sadly not. Hopefully it will one day. And since Just Trains is making a route that's back in time and it's in the UK, you never know. Maybe the Deltic could be in Just Trains' first attempt at a Train Sim World product. You never know, do you? You never know. You never know. We're slowly climbing up the speedometer. We're now at 21 miles per hour. Still way too slow, but there we are. Yeah, the Deltic is nice. I think it's iconic. I remember I watched a video on BBC News about the Deltic one time where it actually was put to work on the main line, I think due to some locomotives being out of action. So I think Network Rail, basically said to the owner of a Deltic, basically said, hey, could you come and work for us for a short while whilst our locomotives are being repaired? And obviously the Deltic was the ideal candidate for the job. It's big, it's powerful, very iconic, and I'm pretty sure it must have been a very enjoyable experience for not only the employees at Network Rail, but fans of the Deltic as well. Oh, it's still in the Railway Museum in York, is it? Oh, very nice. Must be some sight to see it, though. Jeez. It's just so huge, isn't it? It's massive. I don't know if they're too powerful in the game, Liam. It's an interesting theory. I mean, the DBBR 103 is one of the most powerful electric locomotive thing ever built, wasn't it? 10,000 horsepower. So if Dovetail can replicate what 10,000 horsepower feels like to drive, then to operate, then I'm pretty sure they can get a Deltic working, couldn't they? I mean, I'm not sure on the stats. I'll have to look at how powerful it is. Yes, diesel electric locomotive. Oh, it has two 1,650 horsepower engines, which make a total of 3,300 brake horsepower, or 2,460 kilowatts. Maximum speed is 100 miles per hour, or 160. They mainly, were operated by British Railways. They were built between 1961 and 1962. English Electric at Vulcan Foundry. 22 were made, so they're pretty rare. And how many were preserved? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 were preserved, and only 2 cabs were preserved. Wow. Yeah, 6 were preserved, and the remainder were scrapped. Yeah, well, they were replaced by the next generation of high-speed diesels, aka the HST, which is ironic. Good grief. Certainly rare, but no doubt iconic. Even though they had a very, very short working life. Blimey. They didn't last long at all, did they? Banana Craft, that's a really good channel called Creator. Yeah, Creator of a Camera. Yeah, I've got the National Railway Museum as well, and I've seen their videos. From, what was it, they did one with the Flying Scotsman. They did a tour in the Royal Train that the Queen used in her early days. The Eurostar, I think the Mallard as well was one of them. Yeah, it's a great channel. Very much recommend you go and check that out. The National Railway Museum. Not just the place, but the channel. Liam and Dovetail can't find the correct route for them to go on. I'm not sure. With historic England, it's a bit easier because they got the British Rail license. It's like you said, they've just got to find the right route and the right time period to let them roam free, pretty much. So it really shouldn't be a problem. The only hurdles I can imagine is getting the research, the resources, the material they will need. Photographs, videos, maybe sound recordings, and all that kind of stuff. Maybe people that worked on the line in that time period, the 70s and early 80s. They could have come in and given their own insight. Maybe drivers as well of Celtic's present and past. They could come in and give an insight. So, Dovetail shouldn't have too much problem. I mean, it's like with Peak Forest, isn't it? They've had to almost make up the freight timetable for Peak Forest, which is a bit weird because it's mainly focused on, freight. But they do have a bit of creative freedom in that respect. So they're not completely restricted, but yeah, for being as accurate as possible to the real world version, it's a bit disappointing, but you can't help it. There's not much resources from 1963 to be exact on a freight timetable in the Midlands, or just above the Midlands and touching the north of England. Banana Craft is really sad when you see how many trains still around out of different classes. It is a bit, yeah. I mean, thank God they were preserved, though. You'd all like to see them work on the main line for sure, but sadly, time moves on, technology moves on, and it always, technology is always advancing. It gives you new frontiers, new limits, new boundaries. So yeah. Sadly, the English electric, diesels were bound to be replaced, but thank goodness they were preserved and people can experience them to a certain degree, which is good. Banana Craft, they moved the main hall around again, and they finally put Eurostar in the model tunnel pace. Oh, have they moved them around again, have they? In preparation for the summer. I can understand that. I know why, because they have a different horn. It can't be like other trains and everyone will know exactly what the horn sounds like and everyone will point out the areas. That's true. But then again, I think they could probably pay Armstrong Powerhouse a bit of cash to go and maybe record the horn or something like that. Or if he has recordings of the Deltic horn, just use them. Or ask Armstrong Powerhouse to implement the horn sound or the sound package in general for the Class 55 Deltic. Every time, you could tell the difference between a sound pack from Dovetail and a sound pack from Armstrong Powerhouse. Armstrong Powerhouse just blows everything out of the water when it comes to, Dovetail's sound department. He just nails it every time. Sounds fantastic, it's implemented really well, edited really, really well, and it's really brings the immersion to another level. So, yeah, long may it continue. The fact he was able to come on board with Skyhook and do it for both new or newish type of trains in the Midland Main Line, yeah, big thumbs up from me. So hopefully, maybe if the Deltic was to come to Train Sim World, this is all just theories and speculation and stuff. Maybe he could provide his expertise. Okay, so now we're in the tunnel. We're coming out the other side shortly, and as you can see, the gradient has leveled out. We'll shortly be going down the hill, hence why the speed has increased to now 40 miles, just over 40 miles per hour. Very strange, that tunnel there, didn't it? Felt like the tunnel was glitched on the right hand side. A big gaping hole at the side. Thought it was the actual end of the tunnel. Yeah, send an email, Liam. That's alright. Go on, send an email. We'll put it up in their forums or something. Or send it to Armstrong Powerhouse. Or maybe on his website, Facebook page, whatever he has. Banana Craft, they closed the hall with the Royal Trains. I think they pulled those trains out to work on the roof, so that's good to see. Oh, good. Always, well, it's important they get those trains squeaky clean and good looking for the coronation next month. I mean, they're not obviously going to be used for the coronation, but just in case for any royal celebrations at the National Railway Museum, there'll be tea parties going on around the country. What else do you call it? Celebrations in London and Windsor, around the world. There'll be street parties. So anything that's royal related has to be in pretty good nick. Looking forward to to the royal coronation. It should be, well, it's a new event, isn't it? It's history being made. Pretty rare thing. Poor House, what's up? Nice to see you. Hope you're well. I'm very well, thank you. Just doing some freight action on Trans-Pennine this time. There's a good bridge somewhere, if I recall. Now, this is the Leeds to Liverpool canal. Now we're running alongside. It's a bit murky, but oh well. That's a good view. We've got just over 10 miles to go until Manchester, Victoria. I haven't seen many other surfaces around. I think I've seen one, which was the Class 08, giving the van train a helping hand. Probably jinxed that now, and I'll see loads of traffic in around Staley Bridge. Liam, I wonder what the loco of a king will want soon. He's got to start thinking. I'm not sure. I don't know if the king will want a locomotive, really. Not a steam one, anyway. He's so focused on the environment, isn't he, and the wildlife and animals and all that kind of thing. He might not want a steam locomotive or anything historic. Probably something very, very, very modern. He'd probably use the Elizabeth. I don't know, might try and use the trains that's on the Elizabeth line or something silly. Depends where he goes in the country, I suppose. Wherever is electrified, he will use. Whereabouts are we stopping in Manchester, Victoria? Right on the far left, okay. Been on a craft made to think 70 years feels so odd. The Queen is gone. Yeah, certainly feels strange. I remember I came home from dance and looked in the lounge and there was the news on. I thought, what's happened here? And there was all these people gathering around Buckingham Palace, and said the Queen was Queen of Passed, and it was literally history right in front of our eyes. It was quite spectacular, really. You've sent an email, Liam. Have you actually? Wow. I'd love to know what you put. Ballhouse service per yard, heavy freight pack. Is this for all freight trains on all routes or random? Yeah, no, it's only just for Northern Transpennine. This pack was made specifically for Northern Transpennine. So you get the BR Class 40, which I'm driving. You get some oil wagons or oil tankers. You get some vans as well. You get the Class 08 shunter to do some shunting in around not only a bit in Huddersfield, which is there, and Manchester, which is here. So it's predominantly the shunters doing work in this area here, and service area here and here. It also adds new services, 24 with the 40 and 11 with the 08. So it's quite a nice chunk of services it adds to TransPennine. And also a bit of variety has been added as well, so you can use the Class 40 on the passenger services if you wanted to, or you can use the Class 47 and the 45. Now, as part of TransPennine as standard, you can use that on the freight side of things as well. We're going way too fast. Way too fast. I applied the brakes too quickly and we've come to a shuddering halt. Lovely. It will release soon, the brakes, and we'll be able to get going shortly. Is it me or is there snow coming in this cab? Seems to have a bit of a leakage problem in the roof. Apply a bit more sand to the rails. There we go, it should be fine now. There's a passenger service. Right here. We've got exactly 7.5 miles until Manchester Victoria. Off he goes. Going to Leeds and beyond. Better driver than me. Porthouse, I'm glad I didn't buy. I don't have Northern TransPennine. It looks fun. It does look fun. Certainly the fray is a bit more of a challenge, particularly with the heavy, oil or the loaded oil that I'm driving here. When you throw in a bit of weather into the mix on the steep uphills and downhills of northern England, then yeah, it's certainly a bit of a challenge. Like you feel like you're driving proper, heavy freight trains. Not to say that the passenger thing isn't a challenge. I mean, you still got, that constant stopping and starting, and you got to be pretty sharp with it. But yeah, I think the freight adds a bit more challenge to it. Particularly on the braking side of things. Liam, it's typical really. I've turned the TV over to put on PlayStation, and I turn on the TV and it said the Queen has died. Still kept that TV on whilst gaming at the same time. Oh no. Couldn't have timed it any better. Bernard Croft was on holiday in West Somerset when it happened the next day. We was on the West Somerset Railway for a 40s weekend. Thing was still really good. Oh, no, 1940s, that must have been quite fun actually. You didn't have to dress up in 1940s clothes, did you? Bernard Croft, people who was in the army had on black armbands and stuff, did remembrance things on the platforms. Oh, that was nice. Nice touching tribute there to Her late Majesty. Poorhouse, thanks for the info. May get this one next week. I think I want the Midland Main Line tomorrow. The HST train is dope. Yeah, I mean, new HST looks good, doesn't it? It sounds good. It looks like it's pretty decent package all round. So yeah, glad you're thinking of picking up the Midland Main Line. It should, fingers crossed, be pretty good. Liam, he's put hello TTG, it's me again. This won't always happen, but may I recommend the Class 55. It'll be a great local add-on, and many will want it. I think it's highly wanted from the community. Excellent. That's a good professional email you did there, Liam. Not too overboard and not too bullish or anything like that. It's pretty good, pretty well said, very well written. Liverpool won 6-1 in the end. Good grief. Leeds are going down for sure to the Championship. Very, very sad. Sad to see Nottingham Forest and Leeds down there. They're two big clubs with huge histories. They're struggling. It's a shame. Poorhouse, that's right down my alley. I bet the journeys on here are hard. I like the harder routes. Yeah, some of the routes are quite hard. Especially when you throw the weather into play. You make it snowy or rainy as hell or misty or all that kind of stuff. There are some routes are just a bit dull, like Bremen-Oldenburg for me is too short and not much of a challenge. Niedertalbahn, it's a branch line. Is it interesting? Certainly looks fantastic. There could be no question about that. Masterpiece of a route that is. Is it the most exciting route? No. Some people will love it, some people will loathe it. I like it because it's historic and it's a very, very top. The quality is very, very high on that route. The Mainz to Koblenz is a decent little route length, 57, nearly 60 miles. New Trenton is bare, let's say. I like the route length they chose. That's what, nearly 60 miles. Certainly the US freight routes there, big challenge. Sherman Hill, Sandpatch Grade, Horseshoe Curve as well, Home Pass. With the undulations and the big heavy freight trains. Very great routes. It's just I think the rolling stock is still a little bit lagging behind, which is a shame. Which always seems to be the case with the freight rolling stock. It's interesting, isn't it? When the passenger side of things, Dovetail seem to be doing okay with the US passenger locomotives, but the routes themselves are not brought to life enough and are not quite well executed. Whereas with the freight side of things, the route is pretty good, but the locomotives aren't up to scratch. So Dovetail can't quite get a balance with the North American side of things at the moment. The only routes I think are pretty decent are Peninsula Corridor. I think Horseshoe Curve was actually not too bad. And Boston Sprinter, and that's really all there is. A bit sad of me to say that, but it's true. Not enough of the US routes are good enough. They should be at a better standard. I'm not saying the US routes are crap, it's just that I think Dovetail need to focus a bit more on the US side of things, really bring the quality level up a bit. You know, because the German stuff and the British stuff, they're not too bad. Quality is okay. It's decent. The US stuff is still lagging behind, and Dovetail need to bring that up a bit. And the rest of the world stuff as well. That's struggling a little bit with the Swiss stuff. The Rosaline looked terrible, but was an interesting challenge. The S-Bahn Zentralschweiz was too short, but a great challenge, and very nice electric multiple unit. LGV Mediterranean, I love. That's one route I think Dovetail has done very, very well. Yeah, the scenery is a bit meh, long distances in particular, but the driving experience and that TGV, beautiful thing to drive. Wonderful. Alright, 2.5 miles to go until Manchester. Let's try and get this under 20 if we can. Leo, it is now all in their hands. I've told them I'll check what's at work this week and see if I get a response. I don't think you'll get a response. You'd be very lucky if you get a response saying, oh, we'll look into it or something like that. I'd be amazed if they reply to you and say, yeah, we could consider it or something like that. That'd be unbelievable if they would say something like that. And I would certainly give credit to you, Liam, for doing that. Porthouse, true about the American passenger routes. New York is way more live than that. Absolutely. So is Jersey. Number one thing I don't like about TSW is no dispatcher on the trains. Yeah, I mean, Dovetail haven't done that on Train Simulator. And Train Simulator is what, 22 years, what is it, nearly, is it 20 years old? I forget. Is it like 12, 13 years old? When did it first come out? 2009. What are we now, 23? Was it nearly 13, 14 years old? And they never did the dispatcher, so yeah, they won't do it in Train Sim World. They never will. It was never part of their idea of Train Sim World, and it's never going to happen. So that's sad, but you know, I think Sim Rail do it. So yeah, if you can get Sim Rail, then that'll replicate that experience for you. Yeah, 14 years. That's right, Liam. Well done. You got it right. We'll bear that in mind. Is that what I said? Alright, fair enough. Well, last time he did something email like that, at least they responded to it. That's it's courteous of them, I suppose. At least they have a bit of common decency and common sense when it comes to responding to fan engagement, I suppose, or engaging with the fans. Right, approaching Manchester Victoria. Oh my goodness me, we're going way too fast. Just noticed the speed we're about to hit. Speed limit we should be going at. Oh dear. Oh dear. Don't kill me, game. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. We're flying in Manchester way too quick. I think we'll be okay. We're swinging in. Oh, hey, we're going way too fast. Get it under control. On the brake. Ah, we're gonna miss it. Ah, we bottled it. Oh well, never mind. Oh well, never mind. We'll pretend we finished it. I'll do it another day. Oh well, at least we nearly completed the journey. We got to Manchester, I suppose. We just didn't quite stop in time. Oh well, never mind. Oh dear, never mind. Oh well, you gotta have a laugh on this game sometimes, haven't you? Oh well, I'll do it another day. No biggie. But there we are. That concludes the stream. Taking a look at some freight action on Northern Transpennine, courtesy of the British Rail Heavy Freight Pack. If you did enjoy the stream, really appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up button below, and if you are watching for the first time, be it live or on playback, then please feel free to subscribe to the channel. The next stream will be this weekend on April the 23rd, 2023, where I will be continuing my historic dip back in time, and that is looking at the Tees Valley Line in the north of England, doing some British steel action. Looking forward to that. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week, and as always, I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Take care.